Hello everybody, today we're going to start up this Seffle hot bulb engine 2-stroke model and show you the procedures around that. And we'll start at the front end of the engine, where a few things will need to be attended to. And what we will do in due course is to light up this propane torch, which heat ups the hot plug that protrudes into the combustion chamber here, so that the injected charge will vaporize and enable the engine to fire up by means of compression only. But before we light up, there's a few things to see to, among others to check the level in the lube oil tank. It seems okay. So now we'll proceed to the rear end of the engine and continue. So let's move over there. So here we are at the rear end of the engine, and first thing we'll do is to open up the seacock, which is out of picture, but anyway, this will enable seawater to be pumped by this spur wheel pump through the heat exchanger. This engine has been modified with a heat exchanger. And then we'll start up the electric pump, which circulates the coolant, and that's also a modification. Next thing is that we'll see to the lubrication. It's a total loss system provided for by this lubricator, which has a hand crank, and we will take a few turns on the hand crank in order to prime the oil system. This is the governor, and it has a lever for the speed regulation, and we'll set it at about half speed. There's a hand pump possibility to inject fuel, and we will do that with a few strokes just prior to starting. We'll also make sure that the clutch is disengaged. So now we can return to the front end of the engine again. So what we'll do now is to pop out the starting handle and just crank the engine back and forth a few times to distribute the lube oil that we just injected, and at the same time note that there's a healthy snore from the inlet valves, which indicates that these are in good order. And you can hand crank start an engine like this. You won't be able to throw it over the compression. In a boat, positioning of the engine is usually in the way that it's easier to use your foot, and the technique is that you kick the engine backwards against the compression. It will then ignite and throw the flywheel back in the correct direction, and hopefully it will start in the correct direction. We'll see in a few moments. The preheating will take about 5 minutes. So we'll get back to you when we're ready.